Hello, and welcome to my prototype showing off my in-progress multiplayer RTS. This video will briefly describe the project, how it works, and give you a more in-depth view of the project as a whole. This project was made in Unity using a package known as Mirror. This is my first project so far that's implemented Mirror, and I must say I am quite a big fan of it. For those of you who don't know what Mirror is a high-level networking library for Unity. It's compatible with different low-level transports. So essentially it does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to making a multiplayer style game. I just had to learn how to properly implement it as a system. This project was also my first larger scale attempt at using and understanding the Unity custom event system. I've always been told that the event system was a powerful tool that should be in the repertoire of any skilled Unity programmer, so I thought it would fit really well with this multiplayer system. This proved to be very advantageous for me throughout development, as one of the challenges I had to overcome was this separation between the host and the players. You'll see throughout some of the code that I've shared in this video, there are a handful of variables tagged as syncvars and as hooks. These are mirror-specific terms that I learned to use to create calls between the server and the players. I also learned along the way that Mirror includes the host of the game lobby as a player, and so I had to make sure I had checks in place that caused, or essentially prevented, the host from running duplicate lines of code, because that could cause a plethora of issues. You could have the duplication of units of buildings. You could have the possibility of units that aren't synced across all player views and thus are invisible and thus invulnerable to some players and not to others. I also decided that I didn't just want this to be a local or a couch co-op multiplayer game. I wanted this game to function across a proper server. More specifically, I wanted to be able to make a game that I could then play on Steam with friends. Through a bit of a lengthy process, and albeit probably a couple loopholes, I learned how to implement some code that communicates with Steam and allows this project to be run on a Steam server, which I can then invite friends to play on with me. This process in which I was able to get this to happen without officially publishing the game to Steam or paying money for Steam for a development build is a little convoluted, but essentially I go about this by creating a Steam lobby that accepts only Steam friends, and when I would have my friends attempt to join and connect to this, essentially I would be sending them my Steam ID through the program, which is what they would then use to connect onto this makeshift server. As can be seen by this video, this project is still under development, but I feel like it's come a long way. I used prefab variants for both my buildings and units in order to create a system that makes it super quick and easy to add new variations of either. I also created a script that allows the player to drag and select multiple units, which they can then give orders to. I have a minimap currently implemented that I created that accurately depicts the field and the environment the players are playing on from a sky view. This minimap can be clicked on at any point and will bring the player to the accurate point in the world that they clicked on. And the minimap also updates in real time as buildings are placed, as units are moved. And as for the main player camera, the player is able to move the camera and look around the game by bringing their mouse to the edge of their screen through some fun vector math. The camera is able to be rotated by pressing Q or E, and it can be reset by pressing R. Now, this project is a long ways away from any sort of serious considerations on publishing, but I am very happy with where I'm at right now with it. Some of my future plans involve adding more playable maps. At the moment, I just have the one to prototype and to test on. I'd also love to have the option to have a mask that acts as a fog of war on the cameras, so the players are not able to see the entire map at all times, and they have to actually explore to find their opponents. I do know that I also need to do a lot of balance testing, I have a lot of variable tweaking, and I have a lot of graphic polishing. But I hope you've enjoyed this initial sneak peek of my current development progress.